Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat
Oh,
Shalom.
there we go. We welcome the Gay Men's Chorus of South Florida. I am surrounded by Tropical Wave. They are wonderful. You are in for a treat, and they're going to help us celebrate Shabbat and lift our souls to the sky with our Pride Shabbat. We begin with the words of Hine ma tovu ma naim. How good it is we are here together. Hine ma tovu ma naim. Shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tovu ma naim. Shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma teratu. Shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma teratu. Shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tovu ma naim. Shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tovu ma naim. Shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tovu ma naim. Shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tovu ma naim. Shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tovu ma naim. Shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tovu ma naim. Shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tovu ma naim. Shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tovu ma naim. Shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tovu ma naim. Shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tovu ma naim. Shevet achim gam yachad.
Shabbat Shalom. To hear those words sung with such beauty and such melding of voices of different ranges and different tenors was inspiring. And tonight, as we have done for the last many, many years, we gather to celebrate Pride in the month of Pride, the month of June. Some of you may not know that we had intended to have the Gay Men's Chorus join us 3 years ago. In June of 2020, we had prepared for months to welcome them to Temple Bethel. It seems a long time ago of June of 2020 that we celebrated Pride Shabbat from our homes when we were just beginning the pandemic. It is a joy and a pleasure to welcome these gentlemen to our sanctuary tonight. A question that I get asked from time to time is, why is the synagogue marking Pride Month with a Pride Shabbat? And the simple and easy answer is, if you open up the Torah to the first chapter and you read the stories of creation in chapter 1 and chapter 2 and chapter 3 of the book of Genesis, you may remember that we are told in certain places that each of us is created B'Tselem Elohim, in the image of God. And the message of Pride is to celebrate the beauty and the holiness of the diversity of humanity, that each of us is created to be who ourselves are, to be and be inspired to be comfortable in our own skin and our own bodies, and to seek that comfort if necessary, to respond to the pangs of love that emanate from our hearts and from our souls, and to seek out the person who we love in moments of meaningfulness and moments of holiness. And so the idea of recognizing that we are each created b'tselem Elohim in God's image is to recognize that I should respect and love everyone, either irrespective of who they love or perhaps even because of who they love. And that brings me to the second answer to the question. And you probably wouldn't guess that the answer to the question of why have a Pride Shabbat comes from the story of Cain and Abel. But it comes from the story of Cain and Abel. As the rabbis were discussing the meaning of the story of Cain and Abel, and for those of you who need the Cliff's Notes version, one brother was jealous of the other because God liked his sacrifice better, and so Cain killed Abel. And God had to send Cain off for what Cain had done. And so in the rabbinic discussions in the Mishnah, they wonder about what it means that the blood of the earth and the blood of Abel that fell. And from there we are told that we should keep in mind a few things. I'm going to read it because it bears to be read. It is for this reason that human beings were created unique, to teach you that anyone who destroys one life is considered by Scripture to have destroyed an entire world. And anyone who saves one life, it is as if they have saved an entire world. That is lesson number 1 from Cain and Abel. Also, the story promotes peace among people. That no one can say, my ancestors are greater than yours. We all come from that single common ancestor, Ha-Adam, the first human being that was created as a clod of earth. And so no one can say that there are many powers in heaven. And also, the idea that we all come from the single common ancestor, Ha-Adam, teaches the grandeur of the Holy Blessed One. A human may strike many coins from the same die, and all the coins are alike. For those of you who haven't done coin making in high school recently, you take a die, a machine, or a press, and over again you stamp it, and the exact same coin comes out over and over and over again. It could even be $1 trillion coin made out of platinum, although we don't need that this week, thank God. But the Holy Blessed One takes a single die, a single stamp, that first human being, and strikes, creates every single descendant of that first human being from the exact same die, and every single person who is brought to life is different, is special, is unique, is holy. And from that we learn that we celebrate Pride because it's not just that we should appreciate the fact that every single person, regardless of who they are, is created in the image of God, and therefore we should at least be satisfied to say, I respect you because you are created in God's image. But the story from the Mishnah challenges us to say, it's my job to understand why it is that God chose to create you to be who you are. And the only way to do that is to seek to appreciate the uniqueness, the diversity, every single element and every single aspect of every single other fellow human being. And the call of a single human being to be loved and appreciated and respected by every other person in the world is natural and is holy. And this month of Pride is meant to do just that. It is the collective call of the LGBTQ plus community and everyone around them who loves them and stands with them and stands for them to say, we have this affirmative obligation. We have this mitzvah to see and appreciate and celebrate and sanctify the uniqueness of each and every single human being. Shabbat Shalom. Find someone around you whose uniqueness you don't know so well. Introduce your uniqueness to their uniqueness and wish them a Shabbat Shalom around them.
We uniquely forgot to do Shalom Aleichem, so can we please do it after Kiddush?
Uniquely. As we begin our service this evening, on page 2 of our prayer book, we want to invite up the members of Beth El Pride, our LGBTQ plus circle here at Temple Bethel, to lead us in the blessing of candles and the making of Kiddush. And so with us this evening from the circle, we have Steve Lazarus, Mike Sirowitz, Tracy and Michelle Labgold, Philip Altland, and Gabby Tabib.
Creator of light, source of wisdom, you know the depth of the human soul. As you filled this world with the glance of your presence, so let me fill my world with the calm wisdom that love does not ask what, but instead asks whom. May we, as we watch the two flames of memory and practice enlighten this space, remember all parts of our stories and make space for all that we are. Creator of life, source of wisdom, may your light fill every inch of our bodies, and may it exceed all forms. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech Asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Thank you. We are a rainbow people. As you place the rainbow in the sky as a promise of hope for all time, make our lives into a promise of hope as well. Help us to feel your divine presence when others may question the righteousness of our lives. Let us come to know that all things are possible, love and hope, caring friendships and family. May those of us who are deep within the closet find courage and comfort through you.
We give thanks for our allies and friends. Help them to stand with us in our work to bring about equality. Give them the courage to speak out when others try to attack our LGBTQ plus community. Give them and us strength to overcome the stereotypes that too often cause our rainbow people pain.
Bless our community and its leaders. Keep us strong from all harm. Grant us, O God, health and prosperity. Keep us strong as we pursue justice and civil rights. Ease the pain of those who are ill and inspire each of us to perform acts of loving kindness each and every day.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagofen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddeshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratza b'hanu b'shabbat kadsho be'ava uratzon hihilanu zikaron lemahaseh bereshit ki hu yom tehillah lamikra kodesh zecher tziyat Mitzrayim kivanu v'karta v'yotanu kidashta mikol hamim v'shabbat kadshecha v'hava urakson hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh HaShabbat.
I want to mention that the readings that Bethel Pride just read from, and the readings throughout the service tonight come from a collection called Mishkan Ga'ava, which means Tabernacle of Pride. It is a collection of words and blessings and prayers from within our Reform movement in celebration of the LGBTQ plus community. You can join us tomorrow night, by the way, or tomorrow afternoon from 4 to 7 in Pineapple Grove and Delray Beach as we join in the Delray Beach Pride celebration that is happening tomorrow. And again, next weekend at Wilton Manors, and more information will be shared about that later on in our service. At this time, as we welcome Shabbat, I want to invite everyone to please rise and turn to page 24 as we welcome the ministering angels with the words of Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon. Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Boachem l'shalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon. Melech malchei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
Baruchuni l'shalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon. Melech malchei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Hallelujah, hallelujah,
Standing and turn to page 28 for Baruch Hu.
Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared?
when I see a rainbow on the flag flying from the lamppost, fluttering in the Pacific breeze, I know that God made a covenant between us. If we lived our lives in black and white, we would never see the promise God made. To see all those colors together reminds me that God is there for you and me.
Roll into dark, roll into light, night becomes day, day turns to night.
You can sway, move around a little.
Get up and dance.
Olam Beit Yisrael Amcha.
Come on and sing with us.
Olam Beit Yisrael Amcha. תורה ומצוות, חוקים ומשפטים, אותנו לימדת, על כן אדוני אלוהינו, בשוכבנו ובקומנו נשיח בחוקיך, ונשמח בדברי תורתך, ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד. Sing it with us now. Olam Beit Yisrael Amcha. אתה תורה ומצוות, חוקים ומשפטים, אותנו לימדת, על כן אדוני אלוהינו, בשוכבנו ובקומנו נשיח בחוקיך, ונשמח בדברי תורתך, ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד. Come on now. Olam Beit Yisrael Amcha. Olam Beit Yisrael Amcha.
Please rise.
Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
Please be seated. We'll continue together on page 36.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בהם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוך בך ובקומך, וקשרתם להות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Please join with me on the slides. Our people came out of Egypt, a mixed multitude, the spray of dividing waters, sparkling diamonds all around them. We stood together at Sinai, all of us, future, present, past, amid the rumble of thunder and the crack of bright lightning, to enter into the covenant with the one who loves us, in whose shining image we are all created, over and over again. We have wandered bleak landscapes, built flimsy tents of skin, and then houses of stone. We have planted orchards and vineyards, seen 2 temples rise and then go down in the surging flames, forcing us into exile. We have loved and lost, grieved and danced, transgressed and celebrated, hidden, suffered, thrived. And we gather here this day in the community of our people, a mixed multitude, and we sing out, "Hear, O Israel, we stand together, all of us, descendants of the first human created on the 6th day, and of our myriad parents down through the generations, too numerous to name. We stand together, link arms, and pray. Blessed are you, God of the universe, who sanctifies us with the commandment to love ourselves and one another in all our varied ways, and blesses us with a diamond bright radiance that still ripples out from your first spoken words of creation." We continue with Mi Chamocha.
מי כמוך נדם הקודש, מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדם הקודש. לפני משה ומרים, זה לי ענו ואמרו, זה לי ענו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם
כיפר אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני גא ישראל.
As the sun sets and Shabbat fills the air with love and warmth, we all seek protection from God. Before Hashkivenu, I want us to offer this following prayer called Twilight People, a prayer for trans Jews by Reuben Zellman. As the sun sinks and the colors of the day turn, we offer a blessing for the twilight. For twilight is neither day nor night, but in between. All of us are twilight people. We can never be fully labeled or defined. All of us have many identities and loves, many genders and none. And all of us are in between roles and at the intersection of histories. All of us are crisscrossed paths of memory and destination, streaks of light swirled together. We are neither day nor night. We are both, neither, and all. May the sacred in-between of this evening suspend our certainties, soften our judgments, and widen our vision. May this in-between light illuminate our way to the God who transcends all categories and definitions. May the in-between people who have come to pray be lifted into this twilight. We cannot always be defined, but we can always say blessing. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hayotzer et hadim dumim. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, who brings on the twilight. In darkness and in light, we search for a Sukkot Shalom, a shelter of peace for us all, where there can be love and understanding among all of us. We continue with Hashkivenu.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storm.
Let's join together.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms.
Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu. Hashkivenu, Shalom. V'hamidenu, Shomrenu l'chaim. Ufros aleinu, Sukkot Shlomecha. Hashkivenu, Adonai
Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms.
Voices only.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms.
So there's a half chance that I'm gonna get in trouble with the cantors right now. So we're gonna hold our fingers close. Earlier in the service, I saw one of the most incredible things. Some of our religious school students were doing hand motions to one of the prayers. And what better way to bring in Shabbat than hand motions in Vishamru and celebrating? Are we doing the Vishamru with hand motion? No, we're not.
But you can try new ones.
New ones. Go
New
for
ones.
it.
We're gonna
New
try
ones.
new ones.
Who's got hands?
Interpretive
Who's got
hand
hands?
motions by the rabbi.
Not in trouble, don't worry.
But we thought we'd rock out a little. Is that okay?
We're
Can I
gonna
get
rock
an
out to
amen?
Vishamru. Let's,
Yes,
and I see a lot of religious school students here, so let's
Yes.
get creative with some hand
Have fun.
motions.
Okay,
do it.
James?
Page 44.
You can
Don't
get
be
up
afraid
and
to clap
dance
the-
if you want.
Vishamru.
Sheshet
Yamim
Asa
Adonai et Hashamayim et haaretz Shamru b'nei Yisrael et Hashabbat Asot et Hashabbat Bedoratam Berit Olam
Uvayom Hashvihi Shabbat Vayinava Shabbat Vayinava
Shamru b'nei Yisrael et Hashabbat Asot et Hashabbat Bedoratam Berit Olam Shamru b'nei Yisrael et Hashabbat Asot et Hashabbat Bedoratam Berit Olam.
Stay up, don't sit down.
We're going to remain standing as we begin the tefillah on page 46.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avoteinu v'Imotenu Elohei Abraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanorah El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'Konei Hakol V'Zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imahot U'Mevi Geula Livnei B'neihem Leman Shemo Be'ahava Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham Ezrat Sarah Atah Gibor Leolam Adonai Mechaye Hakol Atah Rav Ve'Oshia Mori Hatal Mechakel Chaim Bechesed Mechaye Hakol Berachamim Rabim Somech Noflim Verofeh Cholim Umatir Asurim Umekayem Emunato Lishenei Afar Michamocha Bagevurot Umidom Elach Melech Meimit Umechaye Umatzmiach Yeshua V'Nemanata L'Hachayot HaKol Baruch atah Adonai Mechaye HaKol Atah Kadosh V'Shimcha Kadosh U'Kadoshim B'chol Yom Ya'alelucha Selah Baruch atah Adonai Ha'el
Please be seated. Think of the last person you bought a present for. Was it someone who you love buying presents for? Those people that you just know them so well and love them so much that you always want to get them something. Those are the people that the song we'll hear after silent prayer is about. It is called Set Me as a Seal. And the sentiment of the words, of the biblical words, is that there are certain people that we love so tremendously, so much, that we want to set them as a seal on our heart and our hand. And so during silent prayer, I ask you to do me a favor and close your eyes and think of that person who has set the seal upon your heart. Who is that person that you love so much? Whether it is someone that you've come to love in your life, or someone that you are related to, or someone who you just care about so deeply. The sentiment of that song is we should be allowed to love as freely in the world at large as we do for those whom we set as a seal upon our heart. We continue now in silent prayer. Appropriate at this time to invite someone up for blessing who is filled with love, Myra Rubenstein. Some people come into temple and they fly under the radar. And though she could stand under the radar, Myra flew above the radar from the moment she entered the synagogue. But she was doing that for the community for a long time already. Because before COVID, when you walked into Boca Regional Hospital, there was her greeting people with her gorgeous smile and her caring manner. And once you became part of this synagogue, we've realized that pound per pound, you pack a lot of love in that body of yours. And so on today, as you celebrate your birthday on this night, this very day, with lots of friends who are here and wanted to make sure you had a beautiful birthday, we ask you that you celebrate the birthday with as much joy and beauty. And I could tell you that Moses lived until 120, full of vim and vigor. But Moses could find a model in you of how to live life full of vim and vigor. You are full of heart and soul and depth. You have loving partnership. You have dear friends. And from the moment you walked in the doors of Temple Bethel, you've made us a better temple. And so I'll invite the clergy to join me and the congregation to join me as we wish you Ad Mea Ka'esrim till 100, feeling like 20 as you are now. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach.
Amen.
When I think of my childhood and the shows that were done at camp or at school, I think of Oklahoma and 42nd Street and Guys and Dolls and how to succeed in business without really trying. And they were all about heterosexual love stories. There were no choices of plays or musicals to watch about a same-sex relationship. And a couple of years ago, my cousin, who's an actress, acted in a musical called Trevor, which is on Disney Plus. She's the third from the last to bow, so she's kind of a big part. She's the girl who has the crush on Trevor, who ultimately comes out as gay. And I am so glad today that there are ways to express all the kinds of love that exist in the world. But it's only been a couple of decades since that's been the reality. And for those who lived in a society, in a world that didn't accept all kinds of love, you had to keep all these feelings inside. And while it is a freer and better world, it is not the freest and best world. And so sometimes we have to take refuge in our thoughts and try to live in our head the dream that ultimately we hope will become reality. And so the song you are about to hear, which talks about the peace and the love and the goodness that lies inside, is given the metaphor of a river. And if you think about the way the river works, I can't say to river, change your direction of flow. I can't say to a river, stop running. I can't say to a river, I'm going to tell you how to act. The river acts how the river wants to act. And until that day when we can accept that everyone should be able to flow with their love like a river, as exhibited in this song, then there are many battles to fight, many more plays and musicals to write, and many more minds to change. We continue with this beautiful setting of like a river in my soul, and may we, like a river, flow and embrace and find beauty always.
I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got
Please rise as the ark is open and we continue with our prayers for healing. May the one who blessed our ancestors bless all those in need of God's healing presence. And our prayers for healing this evening, Hannah Akawi, Jim Alexander, Fred Belkin, Margie Berman Block, Peter Blumberg, Donna Boughton, Kathleen Bowersox, Ed Burns, Craig Cartsons, Stacy Castrovinci, Andrea Colton, Chloe Comas, Cheryl Cooper, Mark Cooper, Michael Costin, Shelley Darman, Carl Feuerstein, Rhonda Finlay, Marty Fromowitz, Larry Guys, Jennifer Goldberg, Caleb Goldstein, Susan Goldstein, Eileen Greenberg, George Henkin, Dawn Harrington, Bonnie Hirsch, Marsha Hoffman, Keith Hammer, Susan Horowitz, Sherman Jacobson, Kielbat David Vachaya, Ken Kanoff, Judd Carnell-Lewill, Marilyn Cass, Maury Koppelman, Ethan Kotler, Shira Makagan, Michal Laya Bat, Golda Sheva, Misha Ilan Ben Iri Vachaya Esther, Mordechai Ben Sarah Fega, Trishad Nixon Jr., Susan Pinsky, Claudia Plasky, Brittany Ramos, Charlotte Robinson, Jackie Robinson, Eileen Rosenbaum, Alan Rosenfeld, Abby Shine, Jim Schiller, Steve Schneidman, Gary Seiden, Diana Shiroki, Kenneth Shore, Tova Bat Ariel Lev Visera, Bobby Warden, Joan Weidenfeld, Tom Weidenfeld, and any names you would like to our prayers for add to our prayers for healing as my hand meets your gaze. Baruch atah Adonai Rofei HaCholim. Please be seated.
Baruch atah, Baruch atah, Baruch atah, you, we praise you, eternal God. 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 Healer of the sick. Healer of the sick. We praise you, eternal God. We praise you, eternal God. We praise you, eternal God.
With Aleinu L'Shabeach.
Aleinu L'Shabeach L'Adon HaKol, V'atenu Lang Yotzei Breshit, Shelo Asanu Kigoyei Aratzot, Ve'lo Samanu K'mishpachot Ha'adama, Shelo
At this time, it is a pleasure to invite forward our temple president, Wendy Whalen, to share greetings on behalf of the Board of Trustees.
Shabbat Shalom. And it is wonderful. I am filled with pride to be here with all of you on Pride Shabbat. So, first, to thank Michelle and Tracy, Philip, Stephen, Mike, and Gabby for leading us in blessings over candles and Kiddush. We are so blessed to have all of you as part of our Temple Bethel family. And to Myra, who I adore. I think Rabbi Jessica said it all. We are so thrilled to be here and celebrate your birthday. Happy, happy, happy. Okay, so many of you probably saw some tables in our welcome center when you arrived. It's actually in the social justice cell. Temple Bethel, if you have not heard, is working on a very important issue. It is a citizen-led ballot initiative that puts reproductive freedom in the hands of voters, where it should be, I'm glad I heard that round of applause. So, since you're applauding, I am going to hope that you have already filled out our petition, but if not, it is this paper, but it's not this long. It's this tiny little section. We just need your name and address and date of birth if you don't have your voter registration number, which most people don't, but you should know your date of birth. You sign it. It takes like 2 minutes. And the thing is, we need 1 million, yes, 1 million signed petitions in the state of Florida just to get this initiative on the ballot in 2024. So please join us, and please make sure all your friends know about this and sign petitions also. Temple Bethel on both of our campuses will collect petitions and make sure they get to the right place so they're not somehow thrown out. Okay, next, Rabbi Jessica Mates will share the topics that she examined from her week-long seminar at the United States Holocaust Memorial Museum and her study of the lives and deaths of Yitzhak Rabin and Anwar Sadat. And that will be during Lunch and Learn on Tuesdays at noon, both in person here at the Schaefer Family Campus, and we will continue virtually. This next one will be on June 13th. And then, as Rabbi Weissman mentioned earlier, Temple Bethel, we will be walking as a group behind our decorated vehicle on Saturday, June 17th for the Stonewall Pride Parade in Wilton Manors. The festival begins at 3 in the afternoon. Walkers meet at 6 p.m. for the parade that begins at 7 p.m. You can visit our website at tbeboca.org for full details and registration information. You can visit our website also, of course, for the information on reproductive freedom. And then the Giving Tree. I hope you're all familiar with that. They work all year round, but especially at this time of the year, they have their school drive. And it begins on June 19th and runs through July 28th. You can drop off items, again, at either Schaefer Family Campus or Beck Family Campus. There are shopping lists and ways to donate on our website, thegivingtreeboca.org. We certainly hope you will stay tonight after services for Oneg and Schmooze, and if you do, you can ask my husband to sing a few bars because he's wearing the kind of tie that will match with others. And I do want to thank the Gay Men's Choir for being with us. We have waited a long time, and we're just thrilled that you're here. As you leave this evening, please consider making a contribution to our Tzedakah Fund that will support Keshet. Keshet works for the full equality of all LGBTQ Jews and our families in Jewish life. You can donate by placing cash or a check in our tzedakah box, using your credit card, or in the dip jar, or by scanning the QR code. We have lots of ways. Or you can go to our donation page on our website. We, and I know especially Tracy Labgold, thanks you in advance for your support. So I do hope that you will stay after services, as well as stopping by our tzedakah box and visiting our website for lots of information about everything I told you and more wonderful events that we have at Temple Bethel. Shabbat Shalom.
As Rabbi Greg mentioned earlier, the readings throughout this evening are from an incredible book that was convened by Rabbi Denise Ager. Rabbi Weissman has readings in it, and Rabbi Rabishaw and Rabbi Weissman were both lucky enough to have her as a boss, and I'm lucky enough to have her as a friend. She's incredible. Please join with me in these words that hopefully will provide us comfort before Kaddish. We read together. Heal me, O God, when I am lost. Show me the way through the shadows of the long night. Heal me, O God, when my heart is broken. Mend my soul and let me love again. Heal me, O God, when my rage consumes me. Teach me to express my disappointments with grace. Heal me, O God, when my life seems in shambles. Pick me up and dust off my clothes. Heal me, O God, when hope deserts me. Let me learn to have faith once again. Heal me, O God, when my dreams have not been realized. Open my eyes to the wonder that is still here. Heal me, O God, when my body is weak. Strengthen my will to live each day anew. Heal me, O God, and bless me each day. For with your help, I know I shall be healed. At this time in our service, our thoughts turn to all of those who blessed our lives. As is our custom at Temple Bethel, if you are observing the yahrzeit, the anniversary of death, or if you are in the period of Shloshim, have had a death in recent days, we invite you to rise when the name of your loved one is read. On the anniversaries, the yahrzeits of their deaths, we remember Linda Engstreich, George Joseph Asher, Pauline Balkin, Gerta Barron, Jerry Belkin, Shlomo Bello, Maurice Boroff, Jonathan Brackman, Mary Jane Brown, Nathan Brown, Louise Brown, Joyce Burton, Nathan Cohen, Howard Cohen, Fred Cohn, Gertrude Deutsch, Gertrude Diamond, Sidney Fine, Max Folk, Sylvia Friedman, Eli B. Friedman, David Funk, Larry Gallison, Fred Gerson, Philip Gessoff, Elsie Guys, Lucille Glazer, Jacob Goldberg, Alfred Harrow, Lena Herr, Bernice Eichel, Samuel Jacobson, Dawn Jonas, Glenda Callan, Sarah Kazanow, Ira Clapper, Leonard Cole, Hilbert Lessons, Francis Levinson, Nicole Levine, Seymour Levinson, John Liebsman, Ann Limoncelli, Mildred Lyons, Roberta Marcus, Morris Mayer, Sylvia Mervis, Dr. Emmanuel A. Nurin, Stanley Oken, David Orkin, Ann Passman, Philip Price, Harry Rance, Marvin Wolf Reiner, Alan Rich, William Romer, Bernard Sape, Yvonne Scara, Louis Shatner, Laura Schwartz, Helene Shapiro, Shirley Sigismund, Jennifer Sloan, Harold Snyder, Jack Spellman, Dr. Martin Ira Staub, Dorothy Stetter, Muriel Mindy Strober, Matthew S. Sunshine, Sarah Sweet, Mae Sweetman, Ethel Tager, Jackie Tompkins, Howard Turnoff, Evelyn Warheit, Abe Weinstein, Bertha Weisberger, Irving Weiss, Edward Wexler, Donald Woodruff, Roberta Yellen, Albert Zwick, and in the period of Shloshim, those who've been laid to rest in recent days, Marba Mallet, Elaine Nussbaum, Philip Krumholtz, Carol Burke Thorne, Howard Gersh, Janine Hirschhorn, John Biko, Anatoly Stern, Shirley Emrop, Don Edelman, Ivan Simner, Larry Goldstein, Aaron Rosenblatt, Justin Kaplan, Derek Aaron, and any names that you would like to add from home or that you add here as my hand meets your gaze. Zichronam Levracha, may all their memories be for blessing. We rise and join together as a community with the words of the Mourner's Kaddish on page 294. Yit Gadal v'yit Gadash Shemei Rabbah, Be'alma Divarach Hirute v'yamlich Malchute, B'chayechon uv'yomechon, uv'chaye dechol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala uv'izman kari v'yimru, Amen. Yehi Shemei Rabbah Mevarach Le'olam Almei Almaya, Yit Barach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal Shemei Kudisha B'rechu La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata Damiran be'alma v'yimru Amen. Yehi Shlama Rabba min Shemaya v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru Amen. O say shalom b'romav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'yimru amen. May the source of peace and peace to all who mourn and comfort the bereaved among us, and let us say amen.
Special thanks to the Gay Men's Chorus of South Florida, Tropical Wave. You all were wonderful. Thank you so much. And to our wonderful musicians, to Chris and Vindy on the piano, to Chaim on the trumpet, to Jeff on the drums, and James on the bass. Thank you to Ray and Ron and Kira and Jason in the booth for making all this audible for those in the room and on the stream. And our wonderful singing group is going to close with the words of "We Shall Overcome." Let's join together.
We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. Sometimes in our lives, we all have pain, we all have sorrow. But if we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Please swallow your pride. If I have faith, you need to borrow, for no one can fail those of your needs that you won't let show. You just call on me, brother, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you'll understand. We all need somebody to lean on. If there is a load you have to bear that you can't carry, I'm right up the road. I'll share your load if you just call me. Call me.
If you need a friend,
Call me.
oh, call on me.
Call me.
Just lean on me.
Call me.
We can work it out.
Call me. Call me. Yes, we shall overcome someday. You gotta lean on me. Yes, we shall overcome someday.
Join in the motzi. Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in song together as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz.